With us now, Bill O'Reilly, host of the No Spin News, author of the new book, Confronting the President, No Spin Assessments from Washington to Biden. Bill, as always, good to see you. I think it's fair to show the audience how long you've been discussing this issue. We put together some clips going quite a ways back as you've brought up and discussed the immigration issue. Take a listen.
An illegal alien comes, hurts somebody in your state, it's still not prosecuted by the federal government. ICE doesn't detain them. Is there anything going on in that area?
Well, actually, that's what these bills are intended to discourage.
Mexican criminals represent a whopping 16% of all convicts serving time in federal penitentiaries. That's a huge burden on the American taxpayer. But we, the people, are also responsible for not demanding that the government protect us from harm. There's no way on this earth that millions of people should enter this country illegally. That is insane.
That was 2009, 15 years ago. Any reason to think that Laken Riley's case is going to spur change that the past 15 or 20 years have not?
Yeah, I think it'll lead to Biden's defeat in November. Certainly Georgia will vote against Biden now, no question in my mind about it. But let's walk through this. So the President of the United States knowingly opened the borders of the country to more than 10 million foreign nationals who are largely unsupervised. It's called catch and release. So anybody, as you pointed out, I think you framed the NewsNation framed the story very, very well, that it's not a failure, a breakdown. It is what the Democratic Party wanted, open borders. And they still want it to this day, still to this day. That's why Biden hasn't issued an executive order and done anything. So when he comes in, he does this. And then bad things start to happen almost immediately. And I don't have to reiterate the bad things. Everybody knows what they are. And it culminates with the death of this 22-year-old girl in Georgia. So if you have 10 million unsupervised foreign nationals, 10% of them are going to be evil people because 10% of every single group in the world is evil. That's the breakdown of human nature. But Joe Biden doesn't care. If he did care, he would have issued a statement about Laken Riley, right?
Well, to be fair, actually, he did issue, well, he issued a statement. We have it. People should be held accountable to the fullest extent of the law if they are found to be guilty. Given this is an active case, we have to refer you to state law enforcement and ICE. I guess there's only certain laws. Well, it's a statement. To be fair, it's a statement.
That's not a statement.
Well, I guess the question is which laws, right, should people be held accountable for? Okay.
No, he didn't write that. He didn't even know it was out, okay? A statement is this. My heart is broken as President of the United States over the death of Laken Riley. And I'm going to do everything I can to prevent any other American from being killed this way. That's a statement, not a bureaucratic bunch of, I almost said a bad word. And he's going to go down on Thursday to the border. He's going to go down on Thursday to the border. He's going to blame the Republican Party for her death. You wait and see. This is this guy. Okay, so he doesn't issue any kind of a human statement about the young woman's death. Did he call the parents of Laken Riley? Did he call them? No, he did not. Did he issue an executive order that he could have done a half hour after the story break that say no more asylum claims for 6 months until we sort this out? No, he did not. Okay? Biden doesn't care. Not just him. So I tried to get Kate's law passed when exactly the same thing happened to Kate Steinle in San Francisco. Yeah. What was it, 15 years ago or 12 years ago? I drew up a law that said if you are a foreign national deported from the United States and you come back, that's a federal crime. You get 5 years mandatory in a federal prison. You know who killed that law? Leland, do you know?
Please, go ahead.
Mitch McConnell. Wouldn't put it up for a vote, a standalone vote in the Senate, when every other Republican senator.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven unbiased coverage.